There's this judgment that I come across around polyamory where people think that people who are polyamorous are really just wanting, like, selfish and just wanting to like avoid the hard work that comes with relationship and just like fuck around basically, and that they're like afraid of commitment, and it's like rooted in a sense of like insecurity and avoidance, which I can absolutely see being at play with some people, and you know, in some like poly communities and things like that. Like I can see where that stems from, and I do see that happens sometimes. But I also find that like those judgments really interesting because I feel very much like polyamorous relating requires so much more intentionality, so much, like, if you're doing it like ethically and in a way that is really honoring everyone, right? Like it requires so much growth. It requires like you facing your shadows and triggers and demons and jealousy and all those things. It requires so much communication. It requires you to consider a lot more people than just you, or just you and one other person. It requires even the fact that it requires like you to like really own your desires is like a huge growth edge, like to be able to like be in that, like, this is what I want and this is how I want it and this is how I want to relate to this person, and like having to negotiate that with all of the parties involved, like that is a lot. It's a lot. And I do think that there's like a way to like, you know, navigate polyamorous spaces that are rooted in avoidance, but like for me that's the opposite of how I want to relate. Like I really enjoy the inner work that comes from that like relationship spark in me. I like learning and growing and like working through things with people. I like being in the trenches, so to speak, because it provides so much opportunity for growth and intimacy and personal development and relational development, and it just makes like life so much more juicy. And it allows me to show up fully as I am and also celebrate other people for it, like exactly as they are, and celebrate their expression and, you know, find compersion in their enjoyment and pleasure and intimacy with others. I really believe that it can take a lot of courage and integrity